Hello and welcome to the 5-Minute Teaching Tips. Today we are going to focus on developing listening skills in the EFL classroom. Listening is a foundation to good, effective communication. As you know, listening is a receptive skill and it encompasses more than hearing words. We have to be able to understand context, decipher information, and interpret tone and intonation to understand meaning. So, to do this, we have to be multifaceted when teaching listening skills and use different listening rubrics to prepare the students for the listening tasks. First, we must choose authentic material with a good range of variety. This can be done with podcasts, for example, where we bring the listening to the learner's reality interest in age appropriateness, dialogues, videos, songs in a variety of sources that are appealing to the student and geared to their age and learning level. It is important that the students are exposed to listening tracks of native speakers, especially at a lower level, and the reason for this is that native speakers have an authentic accent and pronunciation. It gives our students more accurate and natural sounding pronunciation, and at the same time, it trains their ears to pick up nuances of intonation, stress, and rhythm, which are part of the elements of the English language. Preparing for the listening activity is more important than the actual task in itself. It is important to present a wide range of pre-listening activities before jumping into the listening tasks, so that learners have access to various sources of listening. These activities can introduce important target vocabulary, listening for detail, where learners have to listen for specific words, often similar and hard to distinguish. For example, phrasal verb prepositions, listening to usage of verb tense, listening for intonation and tone through communicative dialogues, so listeners will comprehend when to intonate to communicate and how intonation can differ the meaning of communication. If not done properly, for example, if I were to say, "Are you coming to my party?" or "Are you coming to my party?" It is also important that learners try and listen to pronunciation to get as close as possible to native speakers. However, it does not mean they have to be spot on. As long as the message is understood and communication has taken place, they are just fine. Learners often find these types of pronunciation listening tasks boring. So we have tried to take it a couple notches by creating pronunciation games to make it more engaging, not only for the learners, but also for the teachers. It is important that the listening tasks and the rubrics be varied so that students are aware of the different rubrics that exist out there, such as listening for specific information, multiple choice and yes, no, listening for specific information, ticking the box, listening for specific information, multiple matching and true false, and finally listening for specific information, gap fill, all in accordance to as aprendizagens essenciais. Two-speed listening is the practicing of listening content at a normal speed and at a slower speed. For learners that have a learning disability or auditory processing issues, they may benefit from a slower speed to process information. For classes in general, it can be used to give students more time to process information, which helps them understand words and sentences being used. Since many of our students are tech-savvy learners, it is important that we bring in technology into our classroom. And as you all know, tech is an important tool in our EFL classroom. We can bring in activities using YouTube, for example. We then can bring this activity one step further and have them do a research task using ICT. This can be done individually or in pairs. This type of activity activates comprehension and communication. Well, it can be said that teaching listening in the English lesson is not just about learning new words, but rather fostering comprehension, interpretation, and most important, being able to communicate. This empowers our students to be effective users of the English language and gives them the tools to be confident. And as a result, communication takes place. Well, that is a wrap for now, and I hope you have taken something with you. And I will be looking forward to seeing you on the next 5-minute teaching tips.